Parents, I want you to imagine for me really quickly. You have 2 kids already. Your wife wants a third. You're a little bit on the fence. She talks you into it, as us wives can often do. You go to the first sonogram. There's 1. Wait a minute, we've got 2. Oh, wait, we got a third baby? But that's not all. We see 4. 4 babies on the way. You've already got 2. Your family is about to double. Well, thankfully, places like the Children's Hospital of Georgia are here for stories just like this. Meet the Kirkland family.
There is never a dull moment at the Kirkland house.
There will be times when I'm upstairs and, getting them ready for bed and they're all just crawling around on the floor and I'm like, I have 4 of you, it's crazy.
I picture myself having 1 kid, 2 kids the most, but having 6, never.
When you have 1-year-old quadruplets, instead of counting hours in a day, you count it by diapers.
There was one day I counted 53, and then so I stopped counting.
This family of 4 had no idea their numbers would double when they started trying for one last child, hopefully a girl.
The doctor has the wand, and we see 2 right off the bat, 1, 2. And I was like, oh, I knew it, And then she's like, well, look, there's another one. I was like, what do you mean there's another one? And then she moved it. She goes, wait a second, there's another one. Like, what? There's 4?
Telling her husband was another story.
I entered, I guess, my own little personal twilight zone at that moment and was stared off into space for a little while.
About 45 minutes later, so there's 4.
The risks go way up when you're dealing with that many babies, so her doctor in Athens recommended she reduce the number.
I remember just clenching my fist, trying to not punch this man in the face. Thank you, but no, I'm not going to reduce my children.
At 23 weeks, she started having contractions.
The head neonatologist, my OB doctor, and pretty much the hospital's attorneys decided it was best for me to go to Augusta, where I would receive the best care if they were to come.
When she got here to the Children's Hospital of Georgia, things weren't looking great until she met Dr. Brown.
I was so discouraged, and I don't like when people call your babies fetus, and he called them babies, and we're gonna make it. We're gonna get you past 28 weeks. That was it. That's what we were gonna do. And it just made the world of difference to me.
She went into premature labor several more times while she was there, and each time they were able to get her contractions under control.
I didn't feel just like a patient. And that was huge because I was alone.
In total, before and after delivery, she spent 14 weeks at the Children's Hospital of Georgia.
I was away from my family and my church and my friends, and I knew that's exactly where we needed to be.
Now, their new normal is a little crazy, but they're thankful the Children's Hospital of Georgia made it possible and wouldn't trade it for the world.
The man upstairs thought we needed 6 kids, and so we have 6 kids, and who knows? If he thinks we need more, maybe we'll end up with more. But that don't have to be true. There has to be some major blessing going on too.
I don't know if you can hear Julie there in the background. She's the one going, no, 4, 6 is enough. But their house was so full of life. You just never know what the world's going to throw you. And thank goodness for a place like the Children's Hospital of Georgia who made their new crazy normal possible.
And that's a family, another example. They drove over from Athens
That's
to
right.
have those babies here in Augusta.
The hospital in Athens said, we know these babies are going to
Go.
have the best,
Go.
the best chance. And they were right. Even their lawyers were like, yeah, we can't do this. You need Augusta.
I love that they had to come here for that kind of care.
Yes.
You ended up holding a baby on the shoot.
Like 2. I mean, that's the thing. When you're at the Kirkland's house, it's all hands on deck.
Yeah.
When it was nap time, we each had 2 children.
Yeah.
I mean, it is organized chaos in the best possible sense of the word.
Mom and Dad say, if we're going to do this interview, somebody's got to hold babies. And reporters, photographers, whatever.
So sweet, though. They're all 1 year old, and I couldn't imagine they're so well behaved. To have that many 1-year-olds running around.
That's just a miracle.
That is when the man upstairs comes into play, because they were just precious, and
that's great.
they wouldn't be here. I mean, the chances of 4 surviving, and all coming home the same day and all being healthy, that's the work of a good hospital.
That is amazing. And for her to now look in the eyes of her children and to the words of the doctor echoing in her mind, which one will you give up?
Right, and especially knowing them now, you know. I mean, could you as a parent imagine facing something like that? So thankfully, Julianne said she relied heavily on the man upstairs and this hospital to make it through. But I also wanted to touch on something. So she had 2 boys already. They were pushing for the 3rd, hoping for a girl. Dad said he was fine with the 2 they had.
But let's try for a girl.
Let's try for a girl. So out of those 4 babies, 1 was a girl. 1.
That's fantastic.
So now
they got their girl.
Now they have, what's the math? 5 boys and a girl. But don't you know that little girl's going to be spoiled?
So
Bradley,
amazing.
Little Bradley.
And I love that Laura had to go over to Athens and do this story, knowing what I know now. I don't know if you were watching Friday when Laura sprang the news on us as breaking news to all of us sitting around her that she is going to be a mom. She's a mom right now, actually. Technically,
yeah.
She's going to deliver in March.
In March, yeah. I'm about 3 months along. So today is really special to me because my husband and I are so thankful that we're in a place, if we need it, it's here. You know, you don't want to think about that. But as a new parent, as you're getting ready, you're thinking of some of those worst case scenarios. And we see these babies who are so sick and they come to this hospital for care and they get the absolute best care possible. So we're just so thankful that, you know, we're pregnant here in Augusta with such a good hospital. But I will say, going to see these 4 babies, I'm pretty sure I just found out within a couple of weeks maybe that I was pregnant. So I'm going over to this house and there are 4 of them.
You look around.
Running around. And at this point it's too late. You know, I'm in too deep. I'm like, oh my Lord, please let there just be 1 in there, please.
Oh,
but they were so precious.
Congratulations
so
to you and to Austin. How did you break the news to Austin?
Oh, that's a funny story. So I had found out that morning he was out jogging, and I had about 15 minutes to come up with something cute. So all of the moms out there, Pinterest is how we figure out
is that where you go now?
Pinterest
Okay.
is how you figure out everything. Pinterest tells you what to do. So they had told me, play a game of Scrabble and spell out the words, I'm pregnant, and wait for his lies to add up.
I don't know how many guys are going to pick up on that. I know it's pretty evident.
Yeah, that's true. But also, it's 8:30 in the morning when I found out. And I am the worst secret keeper ever. There's no way I'm keeping this secret to an appropriate time to play Scrabble. So
that would have been all day long until like 7 at night.
Right. So I had to come up with a very quick plan B. So we already had, you know, talked, if we get pregnant, this will be the nursery. So I grabbed a chalkboard and I hung a little sign that said, you know, we're pregnant, future nursery. And when he came up the stairs, he saw it.
He sees it.
Yeah, it was priceless. And there's nothing like those first moments when you know you're going to be a parent and all the hope and all the fear and just once again, just knowing that this place, this children's hospital, is here for whatever happens. It's a comforting feeling.
It really changes everything in the way we approach this year after year. Parents really understand that. And if you're a grandparent, if you're an aunt or uncle with a nephew, you understand this place is about healing and this place is about you. Quick question about Austin. From the day I met him, I knew he was ready to be a dad. He was so excited about this.
Oh, he's going to be the best dad. He's born to be a dad. So he is just so over the moon excited.
So did he panic yet? We got to get this nursery ready. What are we standing around for? You know,
No, he had a weird calm. The one time he panics a little bit, we were watching CBS Evening News, and they had a story about all the things everyone is doing wrong, because we're always doing things wrong as parents, right? I mean, from day one, from conception, we're accidentally drinking coffee and our meat isn't cooked well enough, and you know, there's all these worries. I saw the panic in his eyes when they were like, SIDS, and they had this whole thing about crib bumpers being death traps and stuffed animals being just torture devices in cribs for babies.
You worry about everything.
And blankets, and he's like, so we just have to stick the baby in there with nothing else but a mattress and just watch it all night long? He's like, what are we getting into? And I was kind of freaked out too, but you know, there's so many things out there now, you know, what do you do right? What do you do wrong? But that was the moment I saw him panic a little bit. That was a couple of weeks ago. He's like, okay, this is getting real. We can't buy crib bumpers. Our babies will smother.
Everything. You're going to be great parents. Austin, congratulations. We're happy for you guys. And this is going to be so much fun to watch as it unfolds.
We're excited.
Laura's writing a blog about this too, and I hope you'll go and follow her on the blog. It's a great read.
Yeah.